Welcome to the Femalepreneur Coach podcast. I am your host, Rebecca Barr. I am a transformational mindset and business coach and six-figure award-winning female entrepreneur. Ladies, I'm here to tell you that business and making money doesn't have to be hard when you're in alignment and flow. Inside this podcast, I will be showing you how to transform your mindset to program it for success, how to maximize your money vibrations, and how to redesign your business for ultimate financial and time freedom. You know you are meant to live an epic life. Now it's time to claim it. Hi ladies, I'm not sure if it started. It says that it's starting. So, oh yeah, I'm now live. Okay, amazing. Thank you so much for joining me, ladies, for the fourth installment of my journey to 10K months without live launching or high ticket clients. So I'm super excited to jump into today's session because it's a little bit different. So obviously so far I've covered off like some of the mindset stuff and some of the strategy that I had to put into place in order to be able to make 10K months in recurring revenue in my business. And today what I wanted to talk to you. So first of all, I've gone through like obviously recognizing that I had value and transferable skills and giving myself permission to even go all in on this as a business venture was like part of the first part of the journey. And just recognizing that what I was doing before was really making me unhappy and that there's always easier ways to make money. And you can do both, you know, you can really love what you do. You can really have, be in service and add value, and you can also make money. Like you get to do both. So that was kind of the first stage in my journey, I would say. The next one was obviously around like mastering my craft, because if you cannot get your clients results and you don't have conviction in the results that you can create, then you're never really going to have much of a sustainable business. The revenue is in the reviews, and the more that you can get your clients results, the more that those results then speak for themselves, especially when you are not a person like me who is happy to talk about yourself and brag about yourself. You know, I'm not the kind of mentor who's like, I made 500k in my pants, I made 100k on my last launch. I would much rather talk about the results of my clients and push them forward, not only because I don't necessarily want to be that personal brand, but also because it's not about me, it's about them. And I think that that shows more integrity and really speaks to the work more than I could ever say, I'm an expert in it, I'm an expert in it, I'm an expert anyway. So that was kind of like step two. Yesterday was all around like leveraging those results to then attract more audience. So leverage it to attract more clients so that you could build a scalable offer. So for me, that looked like, or a one-to-many offer. So for me, that looked like a business building academy, which was really, really good. And I really believe like as soon as you can get that scalable offer, the better, particularly because I tend to attract women who are mums. Women who are like doing a lot of things and wearing a lot of hats. I don't want you to ever move from a corporate background into a full-time job. Like you manage to get like the balance if you build a scalable offer suite straight from the outset. So that was, you know, definitely something that really propelled my business growth, because then it was about the community and it just gave me more exposure, more results that I could then leverage, that just built my audience and my reputation a lot quicker. But also it was more fun. It was more fun. It was a more strategic use of my time. And it really did fulfill a need of that community element. So that was kind of day 3 yesterday. So what I wanted to talk to you now about is, once you're making some money in your business, my income started to plateau. And what I realized was, to get to the next level, it meant that I needed to become more visible. And I needed to become more of a leader for my respective industry as a business coach at the time. So that was a little bit challenging for me. I, like any woman, I've been on a journey, and we have the witch's wound. We have, you know, experienced negative outcomes when we speak our truth, when we get more visible. God, my throat chakra is like already, but it's so true. And I recognize for myself that, you know, I'm going to need to bring in new clients. I'm going to have to get more visible. I'm going to have to start leaning into some of the more like strategic masculine growth strategies, because I'd already exhausted like my warm audience, my current audience. My past clients were good, but if I wanted to do more and I wanted to feel like I was having more of an impact and a difference, and I wanted to really like grow this mission, then I need to do the work that it takes to be more visible and to be more of that leader, and be comfortable with that, you know, that leadership role. And it took a minute, you know, I had a lot of healing that I needed to do. And I would say that that is kind of like step 4. I had to do the work on myself and also reconcile it in a way that didn't feel like I was perpetuating the negative cycle of successful business coaches who are, again, always talking about their own results rather than the results of their clients, that are always talking about how you can make a shed ton of money by doing no work. Because not only was that not my experience, but also I don't see that there's any value in that. You know, I've got kids, I've got 5 kids, and what I always tell them is about, you know, everything is an opportunity for growth. And, you know, they're growing up in a generation where everything is YouTube and making money by playing video games. And absolutely, I'm a money mindset. I believe in the abundance of that. Of course, you can absolutely make easy money, and there's always easier ways to make money. And there are no end of opportunities to you, but don't bypass the growth and the journey in that process. Like, allow yourself to fail. Allow yourself to try things out that don't work out. Allow yourself to test things. Allow yourself to commit some hours to mastering something. You know, I don't believe that easy money is actually, you know, it's great, but there's no value in it. You're not learning anything. You're not receiving anything other than the transaction of the money, which is really like missing a great opportunity for, like I say, growth and reflection. And for me, I didn't want to be like those coaches. I didn't want to be part of the problem. I had a bit of a complex, because I was like, well, I'm not a business coach, I'm an entrepreneur. Like, I've been in business. These women are business coaches who are just like regurgitating business courses. They're not actual like mentors and coaches. And I had to reconcile it for myself. And I was like, well, I can sit here and bitch about the problem, and I can be on my like high horse in terms of like moral high ground, or I can get more visible and be part of the solution, because there are so many healers out there, so many service-based entrepreneurs, heart-led women in business, purpose-driven businesses that need me to step up and to support them, because they're going to give their money somewhere. Like, they're already bought into personal development. They know that they need help and support. So I can sit over here on my lonely island, or I can step forward and do it my way and speak out about what I feel passionately about and be the change that I want to see, and give those women an alternative. And again, that was a lot of healing that needed to happen, but also identity work. So it's like, if I want to be that version of me who is making 10k months consistently, who is a leader in my industry, who is not afraid to be judged or be criticized, who is not afraid to fail, like, how do I embody that version of her now? What does she look like? How does she speak? How does she spend her time? Who does she surround herself with? Where does she invest? And that for me was an opportunity for growth. So I was just talking about this on my coaching call, but my first mastermind that I invested in, not my first one, sorry, my second one, it was a 15k investment. And there were days when I wouldn't even, back in the day when I was very much a martyr for my kids and just had such low self-worth, that I wouldn't have even invested in new underwear. You know, like, I was such a martyr, and I really was like trying to take up as little space as possible in this world. Didn't want to bother anybody, wanted to be a good person, didn't want to annoy anyone, didn't want to feel like I was bothering anyone. And I really just accepted the metaphorical scraps that were given to me in life, like how people treated me, how they spoke to me, the time and energy that I gave out to people versus what I got back. Like, I was so accepting of everything. So for me, when I then invested in my mastermind, like, I literally want to cry again. I'm like an emotional wreck since I came back from Florida. But that, to me, that investment, knowing that I had kids, knowing that I had responsibilities, knowing that there were other things that I could have put that money on, was so symbolic to me. And when I sent off my money, I literally sat there and cried, not at the like, oh my God, I hope I get it back. Oh my God, this is such a risk. Like, oh my God, what have I done? It was like, oh my God, that I'm so proud of myself and how far I've come, that regardless of whether I get a return on investment for that mastermind, that I am sitting here now as a woman who has up-leveled all of her self-belief and self-worth and knows that she's worthy of that symbolic investment. And that was part of my journey to really owning my, and equally, you know, if I wanted to then increase prices and, you know, launch other products, that I needed to be in integrity with what I was selling. I can't ask my clients to invest at a high level if I am not willing to do it myself. So I also believed that was part of my embodiment as well, is like, you've got to walk your walk, and you've got to really believe in what you're telling your clients to do, because otherwise there will be an energetic disconnect where you want more success, you want to be more visible, you want to make more impact and therefore more income, but you don't want to do the difficult work that it takes to get there. You don't want to be judged. You don't want any negative outcomes. You don't want refund requests. You don't want any level of like emotional like journey attached to it. So then you have one foot on the brake and one foot on the gas, and it's like you're constantly putting yourself in conflict. So I realized, in order to really step into and make it easy, that next level version of me, I had to really embody it at all levels, in what I was saying, so the language I was using, the conviction that I had in what I was sharing, the messages that I was sharing. I suddenly started to need to be more divisive, you know, like, it's nice to be nice, but it's, if you really want to stand out online, you got to stand up for something first. So, you know, go against the grain a little bit, not for the sake of just being provocative for the sake of it, but it's like, if there's things that are pissing you off in your industry, like, let's talk about the elephant in the room, let's shed light on it, because then you will attract in the people that are meant for you, that are like, oh, thank God, I'm so glad somebody said it, it's so refreshing to have a different view in a different way. And you'll repel the people that are like, who is she, like, triggered by your behavior. And that is okay. If you're not triggering people and you're not making people think in some way, then you're really not going all out. And it's not about being divisive for the sake of it. It's not about being polarizing to be clickbait worthy. I don't believe in that. But it's about having that conviction in yourself that whatever you say, you're okay. You're okay, because that is actually how you believe. And if not everybody else believes that, that's absolutely fine. So for me, step 4 was very much about the identity work that I needed to do around what my next level looked like, and who I wanted to be, and what I wanted that experience to be, and how I could reconcile and translate that for myself, so it still felt like I didn't need to compromise any part of myself in order to have that success, so that I could really go and get behind it in all ways. And then it was about investing, you know, at that next level. You don't know what you don't know. So if there is somebody that's walked the path of where you want to be, then obviously, you know, invest in shortcutting that journey for yourself. So that for me was where my growth was, and it really put me in the rooms with the women that were at the next level, not only to, you know, to all be gaslighting each other and supporting each other, but just to see that there's evidence, you know. And there wasn't necessarily anybody like me that was in exactly the same position, but there were mums in there, there were other women in there, and that just really gave me the confidence that I'm not missing anything. These women don't know anything that I don't know. They aren't better than me, they're not more magical than me, they're not unicorns. They are just women like me that gave themselves permission to go all in. And just having that evidence for my highly logical brain was super powerful in just allowing me to get out of my own way and to really push myself forwards to have that impact. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I wanted to keep it quite succinct today, so it's super consumable. Let me know your takeaways, and if there's anything there that you can see might be an opportunity for growth for you. As always, I would love to invite you to come and join me inside the Aligned, Empowered and Abundant Academy, which is my signature soulful business building academy. I've just jumped off a call there, and it is just so beautiful to be in the company of such incredible women who are so heart-led, like you, I'm sure, and just be in community with those women. Like I invested high ticket to be in the rooms with the women that were doing great things, so that I could see that it was possible for me too. The academy could be that for you, and at a much more accessible price point. Trust me, it's only like £249 a month, which is insane for the level of proximity that you get to me. There is no, other than working with me one-to-one, like, that's it. So to be this accessible at this price point is unheard of in this industry, but I am really committed to ensuring that more of you make incredible amounts of money and really just go out there and shine your light. So hopefully you will join us there, and you also get a free ticket to my in-person CEO Christmas brunch next month. Thank you for listening to this episode. It's been amazing to share this time with you, and I feel honoured to be part of your journey. If you've loved what you've heard, had an aha moment, or found value in this episode, then please do like, comment and share. I would love to connect with you on Instagram and Facebook, so come and find me, and I look forward to helping you build your epic life.